Is travel. That is what is on a lot of people's mind this morning. We've been tracking several airports along the South, Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, and then Bush Airport there in Houston. Both experienced ground stoppages and delays because of the weather. We had meteorologist Craig Muller come in, and he was tracking some of the storms that were moving their way across the country, and that had caused some issues for people who were trying to get on their flights today. Atlanta still potentially could get 30-minute delays, so you want to keep that in mind no matter where you are right now. Check your airline to make sure things are going smoothly. But the other thing with travel are new comments that we're getting from the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, who is calling for a bit more decorum from people who choose to take to the skies. And this involves how people act when they're showing up to the airport, and even down to his suggestion on how people should dress. We recorded a press conference that the secretary held recently, and we'll go ahead and play that, and then I'll kind of monitor some of the things, as he says, throughout and come back to it on the back end. But want to listen to the comments that he had for travelers and what it could potentially mean once we come out of it. So the next voice you will hear now is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy.
Because the afternoons of those days are going to be.
All right, give us a quick second as we take some live looks here that you're looking at Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, and I do believe that is also, where is that there, Sarah? I got it. It's fine. That is I-95 in Philadelphia, as we do have a record number of people who are going to be traveling, 82 million Americans who will be traveling here on this holiday weekend. We just needed a quick moment to reset that recording of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We will play it now, and if there's any issue, hey, we'll come back.
Because the afternoons of those days are going to be busier than the rest. This travel season by car, we have incredible gas prices, on average 3.2 cents a gallon. So if you're going to travel by car, you're going to be able to put gas in your vehicle at a very affordable price. On top of that, if you're flying and you need to rent a car domestically, our car rental prices are down by 15%. So it feels very good where we sit with the president's economy and what he's done with regard to his energy independence push and energy dominance push. In regard to rail, we anticipate there will be 1.2 million passengers this year by rail, a very big number. In regard to air travel, this is going to be the busiest Thanksgiving that we have on record. And I think you all might note that it seems like every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every 4th of July seems to be an announcement of record travel. I'm going to come to that in a second. But this week there'll be 31 million passengers flying by air as we look to the week that's for the airline industry. Tomorrow will be the busiest day. There will be 52,000 flights tomorrow as Americans board aircraft, fly across the country. Maybe they're going to go to sporting events, they're going on vacation, or hopefully they're going to spend time with their families. Now, we anticipate there's going to be solid staffing in our towers and TRACONs and centers throughout the airspace. And that's different than what we had over the shutdown. But we do have some weather in the forecast. I'm not a weatherman, but if you look out to the Seattle area and the Midwest, the Great Lakes, we are going to have some weather. And so if you are traveling by air, I would just ask that you stay in touch with your airline or update your apps so you know if your flight has been delayed or moved at all as you're planning to come to the airport. Always great to stay in touch with the airline that you work with. Just real quick, I want to touch on a couple of other issues. During the shutdown, 44 very long days. It went pretty well at the start of the shutdown, but in the last couple of weeks of the shutdown, things became very challenging in the airspace. Many of you reported on it. We had significant delays and cancellations. The administrator, in consultation with DOT and his safety team, we took historic action to reduce the capacity in the airspace because of what we saw in the staffing towers. And that decision was not made lightly, but it was based on the stats we were seeing and what we thought was appropriate to maintain a safe airspace. You've also heard that the president announced that we should reward those great air traffic controllers who didn't miss a beat. They never missed a day. And so Administrator Bedford and I announced last week that we are giving $10,000 bonuses to the air traffic controllers who didn't miss a day, and the technicians. You don't report the technicians a lot, but the technicians are the ones that come into our facilities and make sure that some of our very old equipment is actually operational. And if they don't come to work, we don't have equipment that works, you can have all the air traffic controllers you want in the tower or in Dracon, you're not going to be able to control the airspace because the equipment is down. And so those two working together made sure that we had a very functioning and safe airspace. So at the president's lead, we decided we would give them a $10,000 bonus, a reward for their great action during the shutdown. I mentioned this is the most historic travel Thanksgiving we've had, the busiest one. And I don't know if you all know this, but here at Newark, there's a lot of press at Newark by what happened in spring. We had two outages, 30 seconds each, and then the radar had to reboot. So we didn't have radar in this facility at this airport for a minute and a half. And it was trouble for everyone. And this team, DOT and FAA, worked with the CEOs of the companies that provide services to us, and we very quickly remedied the problem. And so now, for the New York traveling area, so JFK and LaGuardia, this is the most on-time airport that you have in the New York airspace. That's the kind of dedication and devotion and speed at which the Trump administration, the FAA, and the DOT are working to fix the problems that we face in the airspace. And I think it's important, again, the busiest Thanksgiving, we're going to have a busy Christmas. And as it gets busier, it underscores the point that we need a brand new air traffic control system. Again, we're going to add these eVTOLs, the Ubers in the air. We have drones that come into the airspace. And so to sit back and think that we're going to not have more delays or more cancellations if we don't build a new system is asinine. So in the big beautiful bill, we got $12.5 billion to start the process. We need another $19 to $20 billion to complete the process. We can't start that phase of the bill until the Congress gives us the money. So we wait. And the longer we wait, the more time it takes. And so I would just encourage all of our House members and senators to look at what the FAA needs to build this system the right way that Americans can be proud of and send that money to us. And a lot of us have talked about politics, and there's a lot of blame that's sent one way or the other. This is an issue that everybody agrees on. It's not Republican, it's not Democrat, it's not conservative, it's not liberal. Everybody agrees that we need the money to make sure we have the best-in-class air traffic control system. And so I would encourage the Congress to get to work and find that money. And I know when they do, the president's going to sign that bill. But I bring that up because if we want to have less stories about delays and shutdowns, let's actually do the work to fix the system that oftentimes is causing those delays and those cancellations. And that is building a brand new system, and we can't do it again without Congress's help. I do want to pass it off to our administrator, who has done an absolutely fantastic job at the FAA, working massive hours with his team as we were navigating the risks in the airspace during the shutdown. And he's hit the ground running. He's confirmed this summer, but I couldn't ask for a better teammate and partner as we've gone through this process. I'm going to give you Ryan Bedford, Administrator of the FAA.
Thank you, Secretary Duffy, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As the Secretary's already pointed out, it's going to be a busy week for us. The airlines, the travel sector in general, airports, TSA, FAA especially. For us, this week is our Super Bowl. And I'm here to tell you we've got a great plan. We're past the laps. Controllers are back at work. They're excited to be back on the job. They're excited to be compensated to be back on the job. So we're all thrilled. We're happy to tell you we've got weather in the forecast, but please be confident that the folks at the towers and the trade companies.
Okay, apologize for the audio on that too. We did want to kind of run a little bit of that press conference that previously took place there. You heard at first that was Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy giving some updates on air travel post the government shutdown and ahead of this very busy Thanksgiving holiday rush. Most people expected to travel today and tomorrow. And one of the things that he has urged passengers to do is to be on their, quote, best behavior during the holiday travel period. I believe the emphasis has been on when you have people who travel and when you have stressors that take place, we know that people can potentially, there could be some conflict that can take place and arise, right? But that is one of the things he's saying. But something that's also been getting very mixed reviews from Duffy is citing the need for people to dress a certain way when they also get back into the airport, something that he would like to see in terms of people's style of dress when they go to the airport. Those kind of things has been a very interesting conversation here within the last 24 to 48 hours as well. But back to, the citing of the people he says he wants to be on their best behavior. The Department of Transportation had cited a rise in conflicts and issues on flights, with more than 13,000 incidents being reported involving unruly passengers since 2021. Now, 13,000 incidents in almost 5 years. We'll know what the percentage is, but Sarah, we've ran stories. We had stories of situations in which we've had unruly passengers. I think in mind, it was just a few months ago, there was that flight that was coming from the West Coast to Norfolk, I do believe, in which an individual had to be taken off of the flight. And that was something that made national news. If I recall, there was a person on the flight, a series of passengers who ultimately, one person came and sat the guy down in his seat. And so, we have reported and seen various situations in which there have been issues at the airports, on airplanes, of people who I guess you would define as unruly. And those are things in which they're hoping to not take place here on the holiday rush, which you would imagine always is the case, in which you don't want to see. But definitely, I would imagine right now, if you are someone who works in an airport, you got to think about the last 2.5 months, right? We just came off of the heels of a government shutdown. We had air traffic controllers, TSA agents, many people who were working without pay. We had people who were working who had to kind of pick up the slack for those who weren't showing up to work for whatever variety of reasons that could have taken place. They could have been sick, maybe because of the shutdown. They couldn't afford the gas or daycare or whatever it may be. A lot of people were picking up the slack, though they were still required to show up. And so just when you think about the stressors that they're coming out of and then right into the holiday, even with the government shutdown being lifted, I think there's always that potential for anybody, particularly customers who might be a little bit more frustrated this time of year with any delays, which we can expect, but that could potentially happen. They're trying to keep people mindful of that and just trying to encourage people to keep everything and everyone in mind as we look forward to a good holiday travel season.